push your hips back and then straighten your neck a bit as if someone's measuring how tall you are, your kamae will be much more effective. So there's a distinct lack of aiki here, and there's a mistake here as well, obviously, right? So aiki is really important. You have to kind of move together, right? So that you're not really moving in unison here. Do you know what I'm saying? This is what a successful Yondan pass can look like. And I think it's very good. Hi folks, it's Andy. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Welcome back for another episode of Kendo Video Feedback. I know it's been a little while since we did one of these videos. I know I've not been putting that many videos up over the last month, really. That is going to change. Don't worry. I've been very, very busy. I've been over in Japan. I've been over in Poland. I've been all over the place. But now I'm back. And we've got plenty for us to work with. So we've got three submissions today, I think. Three submissions today. We're going to look at them. What's kind of cool is these are grading submissions, and two of them have included the kata section as well. So I thought it'd be kind of fun if we look at the kata as well. We've not done that before on this. Basically, if you're new to the show, the feedback videos are where you wonderful channel video viewers send video footage into me. We watch it together. I give some feedback and hopefully everybody learns something. We're going to jump to them in just a minute, but before we do, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, the YouTube magic. Leave a comment using the word Kendo down below. Help the YouTube robot ninjas go out and increase the Kendo population. And most importantly, support the channel by shopping at KendoStar.com. KendoStar is the best Kendo website in the history and future of the human race. Of course, I would say that as I own the place, but it's true, so shop at KendoStar.com. Okay, so first one, it says, got a bit of a frog in my throat this morning as well, but let's go. Hello, Andy Sensei. Last Sunday, I passed a Shodan exam on my third try, actually. I'm still feeling kind of unsatisfied, even though I gave it my all. I mean, there are only two of us, and we only had one tachiai, and during the kata, I couldn't believe I got so far. I was so nervous, I was actually shaking. I practiced Kendo for only a year and a half, but I've been following your store and YouTube channel for quite a while, and I'm loving it. Thank you. You actually gave me feedback on a shiai last year. At the time, I wasn't even Q, but I've been loving and practicing Kendo even more since then. Your advice also helped. And so my questions now is, if you find time, please review the videos from my Shodan exam. I'm interested in your opinion on what I should work on now, looking towards the Nidan exam more generally. Whatever you find important from your experience point of view, where do you think my weak points are, etc. Thank you very much. Keep up the good work you already do. Thank you very much. Okay, congratulations on passing the Shodan exam. Let's have a look at how you got on. All right. You said that you're on the, I believe, the right-hand side. I think it says you're the one with the yellow door. Okay, so I think that is on the right-hand side. Let's have a quick look. Let's see here. Okay, here we are. Okay. So this one here. Okay. Okay, so this is Shodan. Okay, kamae is pretty good. Kamae is pretty good, all right? But I want you to think about pushing your hips back slightly and straightening your back, okay? Because your hips are a little bit too far forward, you're kind of bearing the weight of the shinai on your hips rather than with your arms. So what's happening there is, one, you're not going to be able to swing it effectively. It's going to kind of come up before it comes down. But two, your kamae is kind of broken. You see how it makes this S shape? We've talked a bit about it before, but how your chin's a bit down and your hips are forward, so you end up in this kind of shape. All right, it's not super effective. You push your hips back and then straighten your neck a bit as if someone's measuring how tall you are, your kamae will be much more effective in both your ability to deliver strikes and your ability to affect your seme on your opponent. Now, I know we're talking about seme, which we don't often talk about at this level, but I think that's a mistake, really. It's something that really matters in Kendo, even at like Shodan Nidan level as well, even if it isn't super in depth. Okay, so that's the first point. Okay, so you see what I said was true there. When, I mean, I know you're doing the big strike here probably because you've been told that's what you have to do in the Shodan exam, and your partner's not. I don't think it's super necessary to do the massive overhead strike in the Shodan exam personally. But, you know, whatever. You made the strike. But you see this part, we've talked about this before, right? This running off to the distance here. All right. I don't like it. All right. I don't like it. It's not super necessary where you've got your back turned to your opponent. That's not Zanshin. But sometimes, you know, because we practice like this in order to, you know, improve our ash sabaki and our momentum, after hitting, sometimes naturally we pass momentarily. All right. That's fine. But that's not really what's happened here. What happens here? You hit here. Great, right? And you know what? I wouldn't mind so much if you like went through a couple of steps and then turned around. That wouldn't be a major issue. But what happens here is you kind of get stuck. There's a kind of, you get stuck here where your arms catch against theirs. So then what you have to do is you kind of have to force yourself back into this position of turning away from them and then running off away from them with them behind you. And it's very unnatural. All right. The more natural movement here is once your arms have got caught on theirs, will be to turn with it and just take the steps going backwards, raising with Shinai still in Jordan, a couple of steps and then down to Chudan. Would have been far more natural. All right. And you'd have kept them in your field of vision. All right. So it would have been much better from a point of view of Zanshin as well. So this is a serious issue in terms of your kamae though, yeah, with your head tilted down like this. All right, I don't know if it's because maybe your men doesn't fit so well or what, but you don't want to be like this. You want to be like this, okay? It's very easy for them to hit the good sounding men on your men when you're still. Yeah, so here we can see, right, is when you want to make a small strike, you can't really because your kamae and left leg are not really in the position to let it happen. So what has to happen is you have to kind of use the momentum of stepping in. You're using your hips to bear the weight of the shinai. So you have to use your momentum to step in to get the shinai moving. And then it ends up in this kind of size, which isn't a small strike at all. And it's not a big strike. It's like in between, right? So, you know, your left hand isn't really doing the work here. You know, the shinai effectively is not doing its job properly. All right. It wants, as much as possible, you don't want to bring the tip of the shinai past this point. Okay. But because your hips aren't really engaged here, your body's not straight here. Instead, what they've done is they've kind of gone like this to put momentum into the shinai. You can't just travel straight forward now with a fumikomi and drop that shinai down onto the men. Instead, it becomes like this, so it's not quite synchronized. Okay. And then we end up all the way over here again, okay, with our back to the person. Okay, so and this is another one, right? All right, I know I'm being quite critical. This is a fair pass. You deserve to pass this grade. Let's get that out of the way first. All right. What I'm talking about now is how to get you to Nidan. All right. You are, you know, you deserve to pass this grade. So, you know, in your email where you said like, oh, you felt unsatisfied, you shouldn't feel unsatisfied. You can feel satisfied with this performance. You perfectly deserve Shodan. All right. Now, when this happens, and especially in a grading, where you both sort of, for whatever reason, one of you hits door and the other hits men, and you run off to the side, you don't have to then just use these little okuriashi steps to return to the, you know, to the place where you're like, dun, dun, dun. It takes ages. You can just use ayumiashi, just go back to where you're supposed to be. So I can see that the strategy here is like to demonstrate that you can hit the main strikes with, you know, fumikomi, kentai no ichi, zanshin, which to a large extent you can, which is great, right? But again, you see how we've got this awkwardness when you bump into them because you really are trying to force this idea of running away. So that's what I'd say on that. this is, again, it's kind of fine. Okay, we got a cutter shot. Okay, good. But that's the only one that's not been men so far, right? For me, okay, this is okay for Shodan, all right? It wouldn't harm you to be able to demonstrate, you know, some other techniques other than just, you know, men strikes and one kote strike. But for Shodan, I'll let that go, all right? But for Nidan, you're going to have to be able to demonstrate that you can do more than just step in and hit men, okay? So we want to see some different types of techniques, some different strategies and stuff like that, okay? So maybe kote men, maybe hikiwaza, maybe ojiwaza. It doesn't have to be done perfectly, but you just need to show that over the last year or two, really, since you started kendo or whatever, that you've been practicing more techniques than just men strikes, all right? So that's that. Next, you have the kata, okay, the kata. So let's have a look at the kata. I think you're on the same side here, which is fine. So this is Shodan. I'm not sure how many kata they're going to make you do. I'm not going to be mega strict, but I'll point out stuff that might be a little bit sort of obvious, all right? Command here looks pretty good. Distance looks okay. Okay, so this is fine. This is a slight kind of, there's an off part of the timing here which isn't your fault. Utachi shouldn't step through to Jordan until Shitachi steps back. But this is perfectly fine. Okay, for the Shodan, no problem at all. Good job. Look at number 2. Okay, so slight tip, tiny tip on this one. You don't want to swing the bokdo behind your head like this. Okay, you can swing the bokdo just high enough so you can see the kote. You don't need to swing it this far back, and you definitely don't want to put it behind your head like that. Okay, that's it. Otherwise, it was fine. Okay, good job. So number 3. See your Utachi so. Perfect, no problem. All right, I know there's a little bit of a shuffle with the feet at the start, but you know, we can let that slide. It's the first time you're doing the kata with this person. Probably it's in a very high pressure situation. You obviously know how to do the kata properly. Okay, so this is, again, it's not a problem, especially for the Shodan level, but I'm assuming I'm sure you are on this side, right? I'm sure you are. I hope you are. Okay, so anyway, when you assume a hasso no kamae, okay, actually the book says you go sort of up as if to go to Jordan and then bring down this way. So a little bit more of that would be nice. And also I think it's a little bit too upright. It could do with just going back a little bit more. All right, it's a little bit too upright. It's supposed to be sort of 45 degrees, but you know. Good. Okay, this is fine. Look, your kata's very good. All right. So, and for Shodan, it's more than adequate. Okay, more than adequate. I guess we're going to number 5, looking at how much is long. Good job. Good job. And there we go. Okay, Look, there's no issue with the kata other than those little points that I mentioned, and they're really super sort of nitpicky. Okay, so great job. All right, great job. Well done on passing the grading, and perfectly deserved. I would definitely like you to think about those points that we raised. Maybe learn some more waza. Maybe consider how that your zanshin is actually demonstrated as you go forward towards second dan. Okay. Right. Next one. What have we got here? We have got. Let's have a look at the. It says, "Dear Fisher Sensei, good morning. I hope this video finds you well. I won't read your name out on the show, just in case. I'm a viewer of the Kendo show and a fan of your videos, and I sincerely thank you for providing Kendo instruction of superb quality to the world. Thank you very much. And the KendoStar board I bought is working perfectly. Good job. Thank you. I'm writing to kindly ask for your feedback on my Kendo. The video from my second dan Shinsa, and I practiced Kendo for around 3 years, and I'm 21 years old. So this is a great follow-on from the previous one, right? The first one was a first dan. The next one is a second dan. Okay, I think the one after this we're going to look at, I think, is Yondan. All right, so we're skipping third dan, but cool. I'm the player who did the Kaishido at the beginning of the Shinsa video, 201A. Since the Keiko video is very short, I'm also sending along my kata video. If you feel you've never done a feedback video on kata, maybe you can use me as an experiment. If possible, please provide feedback for both kenshis during the kata. I'm Shitachi, closer to the camera, and Uchitachi is my friend. Okay, if you decide to do so, all the videos can be used in your Kendo Show YouTube channel. Please provide a lot of feedback. It will really help me. I hope this isn't too much hassle, and thank you in advance for your help. Right, fantastic. Well, congratulations on passing your exam. Okay, congratulations. We've got a short video of your grading, and we'll look at your kata, okay? Because we're doing a bit of a kata day. Okay, so let's have a look. All right, so you're this one that did the Kaishido. Okay, good. So here's a great example for the previous person. All right, you see how when you make this, so this kamae is good. This kamae is good. It's kind of straight. The hips aren't taking all of the weight of the shinai here. When you go forward for your strike, your shinai is mostly staying forward. You make the strike, and then when you kind of clash with the opponent, you keep your eyes on them and keep your focus towards them. All right, this is more like what zanshin is, rather than hitting and running away. Okay, so this is a good example. Right? Nice name. Okay, so here I know we did pass through here. Don't mind it, because as I say, sometimes we do that. All good. Turn around, keep attention towards the other person. All right. Now here's what I am going to say. Your menhimo are too long and they're not even. All right. So the loops and the strings have to be the same length, and it should be less than 40 centimeters. All right. It's incorrect otherwise. You could fail for that. All right. If you turn up at third dan, it wouldn't surprise me if that would fail you. Just that. All right. So take care of that. Okay? I'd say that your kamae is actually a little bit too much leaning back, though. A little bit too much leaning back. So probably I think this is why the swings of your strikes are a little bit large. I mean, you're still only young, so that explains why you're super fast. But you know, you see, like this strike here. It's a great men's strike. I mean, it's all right. It's all right, but it could be even more compact if you weren't leaning back. Let's say, all right, but it's all right. It's all right. But can you see how obvious these himo are? All right, sort the himo out. There's no problem with this for Nidan. Absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. Regards to shaping your men, I mean, this is the thing, right? You're doing super well. So the main things I've got to pick on are really small. Shaping your men, right? Try not to shape it square against your shoulders. When you tie like this, try to pull the men direct forward slightly in the direction of the diagonal stitching, so that there's a, you know, you want a little bit of space behind and between the shoulder and the reverse of the men, to cushion any strikes that might miss. If it's flat against your shoulder like that, then it's more likely to be painful. Brilliant. Okay, it's perfectly fine for Nidan. Perfect. Whoops. Perfectly fine for Nidan. Okay, perfectly fine for Nidan. So congratulations. The main thing I've got to say is like you're leaning back a little bit too much, and you need to sort out those points of chakso, right? Especially the menhimo. Make sure you get them cut and tie them to the right length. All right, let's have a look at your kata. You said that in the kata, you're the shitachi close to the camera, all right? And you want feedback on both sides. And this is to 7. All right, let's have a look. Let's have a look at this kata then. All right, so I couldn't say much about your keiko because it was good. Right, first off, in the kata, and pretty much all movements in kendo, all right, but especially in the kata, the movements have to be suriashi, not just stepping forward, all right? So you have to slide, try to keep the toes down, okay? Yeah. Whereas I can see here, you're kind of, especially on the uchita side, it's kind of stepping, all right? It will change the, like if you change that, the kata overall will have more grace. For you, when you receive the men strike and do the nukiwaza, all right, the sword should go upwards, not backwards, okay? So you don't want to bring it behind you. You want to bring it upwards like this, okay? So not behind, but upwards, okay? I've got a little bokuto. Let me just grab it. Okay, so got my little bokuto here, right? It wants to go upwards, and tall, yeah? Yeah, tall, like this, not yeah, this way, okay? So upwards, like you're stabbing towards the ceiling behind you, okay? Okay? So I moved away from the mic. I hope I wasn't too quiet. Okay, this is here. This is also happened in the last one. From here, okay, you move to Jordan for Zanshin because the uchitachi stepped backwards. You don't move before the uchitachi, okay? The shitachi follows the uchitachi, okay? So in pretty much all the kata, in pretty much every situation, pretty much, the uchitachi moves first, right? So here, going to Jordan is the incorrect timing, okay? They step back and you follow them in Jordan, okay? This is fine, all good. Looks fine, right? But again, this part as well, right? Going backwards. See how your body is going as you move back, yeah? That's not good, okay? This way, right? Suriashi, use your lower body. Don't let your head move up and down or side to side like this, all right? It's because you're just walking backwards, all right? It's really important. It really, like, affects the dignity that's communicated through the kata. It's pretty much okay. I can see you sort of rocking side to side, okay? So that's the sort of thing that, like, for me as a grading panelist, like, throughout watching your entire kata, it's going to bug me. So again, as I said, for the uchitachi here, the assumption of the hasso no kamae, it's not just straight to here, but as if to go to Jordan and then to hasso here, okay? So here, not just here, okay? Here, okay? Okay, the strike's too high for the kiri musubi, okay? Okay, this is a men strike. This should be a men strike, all right? But you're both hitting up here, okay? It has to be men here like that. Then kiri musubi all the way down. There's that sort of tension, and they do the ski so pam pam, yeah, or they do the ski yeah, this way, okay? Also, ideally, the uchitachi should not step back. Okay, ideally the uchitachi should not step back. If you're too close, it's better to step back than not. But you shouldn't step back here. Okay, you should calculate the distance properly here, so that when you do the kiri musubi, come down and ya. Okay. Also, the ski for the uchitachi here. Like it's at like head height here, okay? You're aiming for the right lung of the partner, okay? So it's far too high, okay? Far too high. And also here, I know I keep going on about this, but you have this habit, especially this tachi, but I think both of you, like you know, you release the kamae, and then for some reason you kind of lean forward before you start to move back. That's not right either. Okay, down and straight back. Okay, you don't need to step here. When he takes the Jordan, there's no need for a step forward here. Okay, just from your chudan, you take the chudanに対する Jordan に対する中段の構え like that. Okay? From here, here. You don't need to move your feet at all. Okay, so there's a distinct lack of aiki here, and there's a mistake here as well, obviously, right? So aiki is really important. You have to kind of move together, all right? So that you're not really moving in unison here. Do you know what I'm saying? If we go to here, this is right, and then he should start to come up before you start to come down. You're here in zanshin. Then he starts to regain his kamae, so you match his pace and return to the aichudan. Okay, and then yeah, it's 3 steps that way. But again, you've gone to move before him. Okay, he has to move first. All right, so there's a mistake on both parts there. Actually, I know it's hard because you're kind of expecting him to go, but it demonstrates that lack of aiki. Okay. Okay, this gedan is far too high. Gedan is far too high. Okay, gedan is like 3 to 6 centimeters below your knee, or below the partner's knee. It's really there, but his, you know, you're like above his knee. Okay. And then again, you're often moving before he is. Okay, so here again, you come up to here, and then you start to move, but he hasn't moved yet. Okay, so that's wrong. All right, he steps back, which is why you move in. All right, you follow him. The suriage is too big, and you didn't step away to the left. You have to step to the left. You just did the suriage with your hands, pretty much. I mean, you did move your feet, but just forward. So the footwork is incorrect here. I would probably fail you for this, because it's the kata is wrong. So it's not big. It's just pam pam that way. Okay, pam pam like pam pam like that, and then the footwork is this way. Pam. You have to move diagonally to the left. Yeah. So you're stood in the wrong place. So here, you're still stood on this kind of central line when you should be off to the side. Yeah, so that's not quite right. Okay. Nidan, I don't know if I'd fail you for it, but I'd definitely fail you for it for Sandan. Okay, so you should try to not lose the eye contact as a shitachi. Uchitachi does lose the eye contact. Shitachi doesn't lose the eye contact if possible. I was just checking something. One more. Okay, this is fine, pretty much fine. But again, you're moving before your Uchitachi is. Like, you started to move, but he hasn't moved yet. All right. So again, I think once we get to like Sandan, I'm probably going to fail you for this sort of thing, because like the first thing, like day one of kata is Uchitachi leads, Uchitachi follows, right? Okay. So yeah. Okay. But otherwise, look, it's all right. Okay. Other than the points highlighted, it's all right. Your jitsugi was fine. All right. And you're not far from passing the Sandan. All right. But your Sandan, I'd like to see you. Yeah. For your jitsugi, I didn't see enough, like, in terms of audio waza and stuff, and I'd like to see the waza a bit sharper. But the kata needs sharpening up in those points. Okay. Last one. Okay, I know this is turning into a long video because I haven't done one in a while. Hello Sensei, I'm from Argentina and I'm the kendo instructor at my dojo. I'm 53 years old. 2 weeks ago, I was able to pass my Yondan Shinsa after 3 fails. This is the first keiko. The second one was very bad film quality. I start on the right hand side and the kensho on the left didn't pass. Please can you do the analysis of this keiko? We always watch your channel and we wish to someday meet you. I hope I can meet you as well. I really do. Okay, right. So you are on the right side, on this side, okay. And your opponent wasn't successful. You were successful this time. You failed 3 times before. You're 54 years old. Okay. So look, right. So 54. Let's address this because it's something that comes up a lot. All right. 54 is not like a really young age to do the Yondan. Obviously in Japan, lots of people do Yondan like in the 20s, okay? Like 22, 23 people can get Yondan, all right? Fine. But at the same time, 54 isn't old, okay? It's not old, all right? It's older than some of the candidates could be, but, there's, 54 is like the age that, like, lots of hachidans pass their shinsa, like in their early mid 50s. Okay, so you can still move at that age if you're in good shape. Okay, so it's not always at this point it's not. I'm saying this because I know people. It's a bit of a sticking point on gradings, especially when you have very young dynamic people go first. Does that set the benchmark? For me, it doesn't anyway, but I also don't, I think it's very important to apply the appropriate context to when examining the grades, right? So, and that includes the candidate's age. But at 54, there's plenty of people that are like in their mid 50s that are doing very dynamic and active kendo, right? So I'm not saying it should be like high school kendo or something like that, but what I'm saying is 54 is a perfectly how can I say, it's an age where you can still perfectly be it's firstly justifiable to expect you to be able to be physically active. So on the right side. Okay, so your kamae is slightly forward, but I kind of like it. I don't think it's a massive problem. All right, it's slightly forward. I'm concerned that when we start seeing Waza, it's going to be top heavy. Like we're going to be kind of like this, but maybe you'll prove me wrong. All right, I'm a bit concerned that with your, you know, it's. I like that your hips are pushed back, but I'm worried that your shoulders are too far this way. When maybe they should sit over your hips a bit more. But we'll see. We'll see. It's fourth down, right? Okay. Okay. Cool. It's fine. All right. Nice, man. This kote was good. Nice semi. Nice initiation. Hit the target. Like it. Good zanshin. So I feel a little bit like what's happening is because we're slightly leaning forward here, your left leg isn't necessarily being able to launch you forward that as explosively as it possibly could, and you're kind of just stepping out on the right, which is losing a little bit of power in your strikes. Even though you're making strikes at great opportunity, making great opportune strikes, and they're accurate, but they lack a little bit of impact, and I think that's the reason. This is fine too, right? Look, you know, you did the semi, you kind of tried to invite the strike, you launched the strike. You know, the best situation here would be the opponent kind of tries to match you and tries to hit, but they didn't. Instead, they were sort of waiting for a kaishido, but like I said, they were waiting for it, and you receive the kaishido. That's fine. Like, you don't fail the shinsa for getting hit, right? So that's not an issue. Yeah. So I think this is the only technical issue I've got here is like I say, just too much leaning forward. So the left heel ends up being really high. I don't feel like you can really drive your hips into your strikes as much as you probably can. So you try a kaishido, which didn't manage to happen. Nice if we get a chance for another Ojiwaza, but it's not the end of the world, a fourth down. Good. It's all good. You're clearly in control of this tachiai, okay? You're clearly, you know, controlling the situation, controlling the pace of the match. So, you know, this explains why you're able to pass. There we go. Okay. This is a great fourth dan exam. All right. It's a great fourth dan exam. Makes perfect sense that you passed the grading. Your kendo's really nice. You're doing a great job. You're doing a great job. I just watched that leaning forward a little bit. All right. I think it's taken away impact and power from the strikes. But otherwise, you know, pretty good. It's very good, actually. So yeah, I appreciate you sending it, actually. I think this is great for people who are sort of around a similar age. You know, if you're in your sort of late 40s to sort of late 50s, this is what a successful Yondan pass can look like. And I think it's very good. All right. Like I say, don't worry about these missed strikes. But, you know, you got plenty of great Yuko Datote. No one's going to hit your shoulders, by accident with those massive men there. But fair enough. That's a style. Yeah, look, it's good. I think you're doing a really great job. I've got nothing more to say on it other than that. Thank you for sending it in. Okay, so thank you everyone for joining me. Thank you for everyone who sent videos today. If you would like to also have a video featured on this show, all you have to do is upload it to YouTube, set the video as unlisted or public. It's up to you, but don't set it as a private. Email me the link to mail@kendostar.com and I will definitely cover it on the show. Thank you very much for joining me today. Shop at KendoStar, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.